Thanks for the support as a channel member, Kieran Hodgkinson. Folks, it's giveaway time. I've partnered up with CD Keys, whose logo you should see somewhere around the screen now, depending on where future Kev has decided to put it. But I've partnered up with CD Keys to give away a copy of Football Manager 2020. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll already see there's a separate giveaway going on over there. But this one is a second copy of the game that they've provided me with to give away to somebody who watches these videos. So I think the fairest way to do it, let me know down in the comments if you'd like to win, and then in, I don't know, early next week sometime, I'll randomly pick one of the comments from this video and that person will win a copy of the game. Easy peasy. Of course, you do need to make sure that you're checking back on the comments next week, because I'll literally just reply to your comment saying you're the winner, and then you need to reply and let me know how I can we've tried to do these YouTube ones before. They get complicated if you don't reply to me telling you you're the winner. So we'll figure out some terms and conditions and redraw if we have to, if the first person doesn't reply. Just let me know you want to win. One of you will win. And then check. Just check. And thank you for CD Keys for providing me with the code. Check. Hello, welcome to Club 5, part 17 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, after nearly 2 years away, today we return to Tottenham to try and knock them out of the Champions League. I've got to go back there and be a meanie. I don't mind being a meanie. I want to win the Champions League this year. We're also going to play Fortuna Dusseldorf in the Bundesliga. That's another thing I want to win this year. And as you can see, since the last episode, in fact, it was before the last episode, we had a little bit of a slip-up. We did have another draw, this time against Hoffenheim away from home, but we absolutely thumped Hamburg. But as you can see, the gap that we were generating at the top of the league isn't quite as large as it once was. We're still 4 points clear of Wolfsburg. We are still unbeaten. I think it's in like 55 games in the Bundesliga now. We're unbeaten. But Dortmund are the team that I'm really watching, because we know what they're like. They're rascals, and they're now only 7 points behind us with 8 games to go. Just absolute collapse aside, we should win the Bundesliga, because looking at the games we've got left, we don't play any more of those teams who are challenging us for the title. We've played Wolfsburg. We've played Hamburg. Not Hamburg. Well, we have played them, but they're not challenging. We've played Hoffenheim. We've played Dortmund. We've played all those teams twice. So theoretically, we should be all right. But looking at this, I'm seeing Leipzig and Stuttgart and Bayer Leverkusen and Werder Bremen, and these are all teams I've heard of, and it scares me a little bit. In other news, we are still in the German Cup as well, but nobody cares. Let's go to Tottenham and try and win. We are 2-1 up from the first leg, but of course Tottenham have that away goal, and that is always going to scare me a little bit. And we did leave it late against them in that first leg as well. They seem like quite a good side. Whoever assembled that team must be good at Football Manager. This is the team we're putting out there to take them on. We've got Ferron in goal, a back four of Krajcu, Tigges, Banfalvi and Dombrowski, Vermonti at the base of the midfield, Andre and Lust ahead of him, Van der Hoek, Gashi and Thorgerson are our front three. Let's get into the game. Let's head back to London and hopefully leave again 90 minutes later, all happy and cheerful and chipper, because otherwise I'm going to be proper glum. We got to the final of this competition last year. You've got to think we're a better team than we were then. Tottenham lining up in a slightly more ambitious formation this time. They did the flat back 6 in the first leg. Today, matching us with a 4-3-3. It does mean a couple of players that I would suggest are out of position. Gravenberch out on the left wing is weird, but we know how good he is attacking-wise, so Dombrowski's going to have to keep an eye on him, and Vermonti's going to need to get involved in helping out there as well. Kamelli at left-back is an interesting one, because I signed him to compete with Jair to be right-back, so to see him out on that side is odd. And Serra as well is a left-sided centre-back, so interesting to see him on the right-hand side of the back four and on a yellow card. It looks like, yeah, I don't know why that's happened. I can't see what's his name anywhere. I can't remember his name. The left back I signed. He must be suspended. That's the only explanation for it. Right. What are we going to say? We cannot allow complacency to undo the good work from the first leg. We must not. What we really need, what would really settle some nerves, is an away goal early on. Put us 1-0 up in the tie, 3-1 up on aggregate, cancel out their away goal, and then I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable. Gashi's picked up an early injury there, and I don't know why O'Hara's not on the bench. He must also be injured/suspended for Pastkev to have not even put him on the bench. So that's a situation we need to monitor. Antonio Carlos can go out onto that right-hand side if need be. Thorgerson theoretically could as well. I mean, get Mikkels on. There is Gashi. Finds Van der Hoek in space. Can't quite get the shot away before Kameli is there to close him down. And Banfalvi picks it up. And him and Vermonti are just trying to calm things down. The two former Spurs men back at the club that made them their names. And they're going to want to just run this game. Vermonti plays Dombrowski in, who's got space and scores! Dombrowski's doing Jair things at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What a goal from Dombrowski. And there's the away goal cancelled out, boys and girls. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. That is what we wanted. It is Tottenham 0, Bayern Munich 1 on the night. 3-1 to us on aggregate, and away goals, if they come into play now, it will only be in our favour because it will mean we scored a second one. Spurs have already had to make a change. They've taken an injury to their right winger as well, and unlike me who's not sure what to do, they have made the change. So it's something I'm probably going to look to do at half-time. It'll either be Miguel's or Antonio Carlos to come on. The reason I've not done the change yet is because I haven't decided which one I'm going to bring on for him. Banfalvi plays it out wide, looking for Van der Hoek and finds him. Van der Hoek plays it into Vermonti, who finds Lust. He's got Dombrowski on the overlap again, but instead goes for Thorgerson, and Thorgerson forces the save out of Francisco. And we've got a corner as we hit the 41-minute mark of the game, and it's Lust to take. It's going to be an in-swinger. He floats it over. Serra heads clear for Tottenham, and it goes all the way out for a throw, and presumably the end of this move, unless we're going to score, in which case we'll see the throw. We didn't score. We didn't see the throw. It's going to be half-time. It's still 1-0 to us, and that has been a good first half so far, and a total reversal of the first leg where Tottenham dominated possession at our place. We've now come here and we're dominating possession. We're both strange teams, clearly. Right, don't look at the scoreboard and think the job is done. That's a good team talk to make. We are going to take Gashi off. I think we're going to bring Miguel's on. I think he's the man who needs to... I mean, he's the better player, ultimately. So let's get him on. It's not his best position, but he is better at doing a football than Antonio Carlos is. Even though Carlos is going to have the desire to go and score against Spurs, I think Miguel's is... I mean, we all know he's a better player. Some would argue he's the best striker we've got at the club, and I'm not really using him as such. But then, neither did Dortmund, and he finished top scorer in the Bundesliga last year, coming in off that left-hand side. We're getting the sort of 60-minute stutter in the game again, which seems to be a common thing, and Gravenberch has got an equaliser for Spurs. We know how good he is. An 11th goal of the season for him. It looks like he's reinventing himself under whoever their manager is now as an inside forward. It's a position I can certainly see him being very good at. We've seen him do it there. He was always very good going forward. Always had an eye for goal. And he's probably the best player left at Spurs that I didn't sign. Weirdly, they've put Jair at left back now, I've just noticed. And Kameli has gone to right back. That is a strange decision to have made. It takes Jair out of things a little bit, but Gravenberch is in again, and Dombrowski, we might have to stick him onto a more defensive instruction because he's on an attacking instruction at the moment, and that's twice Gravenberch has got in behind him. So we need to be monitoring what's going on there. I'm wondering, rather than doing that, do we stick Kreischer over there, who's a better defender? But Dombrowski's played so well and scored the goal, so it would be harsh to take him off. What we are going to do is take Thorgerson off and bring on Antonio Carlos. I love to play players against their former club, and Antonio Carlos is going to come on with a point to prove. I think we're still attacking because I'm a lunatic. We've asked for some creativity as well. As it stands, of course, we are ahead in the tie, and it's a draw on the night so far. This change, I think, will be the change that makes us a little bit more defensively minded. And I think I'm going to bring Marquez on in midfield for Andre, and just drop down to a balanced mentality, drop Dombrowski to a support defender. But to balance that out, I think I'll make him attacking in midfield. Just really for keeping an eye on Gravenberch, who we know how dangerous he can be. We've already seen him do it twice in this game. and we just want to have Dombrowski keeping a better eye on him. Vermonti sprays it out wide to Van der Hoek, who takes it down brilliantly, but then is tackled by Camelli. It looks like he turned into quite a good signing for Spurs. I never really used him very much. He was very much a backup for me, but it looks like he's quite a good defender. Antonio Carlos chasing down Francisco. How glorious would it be for that man to score the winner tonight? They know he's not any good. They're knocking it around him as if he's not there and just tiring him out. And here is Vance for Spurs, and Van der Hoek's got himself sent off. This is starting to feel like a common thing in big games. Van der Hoek just seems to bottle it in big games and get himself sent off. And that could be hugely significant if Spurs score again, because then we could potentially have extra time. Extra time with them having a man advantage would be painful. I'm just adjusting things around a little bit in here to account for the change that's been made. I'm going to leave Marquez on support now. It does mean Miguel's can go over to that left-hand side and actually play as an inside forward. I'm a little bit afraid right now. We just need to cling on. I almost wonder if we should drop back even further, but that we know how good Spurs are going forward, and here's Jair, and we need to just clonk him. Clonk him. Someone hit him. He's doing Jair things. Don't let him do Jair things. Theron makes the save. Oh, my heart would have broken, I think, if Jair had been the man to score the winner for Spurs. Fernando with the corner. Tiggy's head's clear, but not very far. And some fella who didn't play for me has got the ball and crosses, and that's a big missed header. Is that a penalty? No, Vance fouled Kryju. For a minute there, thought it was the other way around, and we've got away with it. We have got away with it a little bit there. The Battle of Tottenham. It was a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Van der Hoek, we really need to question for big games going forward, because he's got previous for doing what he's done there. But importantly, we have navigated our way past Spurs. We continue in the Champions League and hopefully go on and win the thing. I feel like you've been sent off already this season. Did I dream it? No, he's done it in the league as well, and twice in Europe. He's played 5 games in the Champions League this year and got sent off twice. I don't know why we're not doing the code of conduct thing anymore. I don't know what the club code of conduct is off the top of my head. Where do I find it? Because I don't want to really upset him. Where does the code of conduct live? Code of conduct, where are you? There it is. But we did! We set it up at the start of the season! I'm going to fine him a week's wages. And it has upset him. But you know what? Stop getting sent off, you idiot. Lust, go and sort him out. If he becomes a problem, then we've got Miguel's who can just come into the team, and we'll have to in the next Champions League game now. Right, let's go and beat Dusseldorf and try and win the Bundesliga. Right, before we play Dusseldorf, it is Champions League draw o'clock. So, Barcelona, Man United, Juventus, us, all still in the competition, along with Chelsea, Inter, Man City, PSG. There's some good teams after. It's almost like this is a league of the champions, all of the best teams around. It's quite... I mean, that plane flying really low over my garage is exciting. They want to know who we're going to play. So there's not really anyone there you'd pick out as someone we want to face. Every single one of those is going to be difficult. And for us to win the competition, we've got to beat 3 of them. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it really doesn't. Inter or Juventus. Right, here we go. I like to be away first leg. And we are going to be facing Manchester City. We're going to have to do it by beating all of the teams that haunted us when we were at Tottenham, clearly. And then I think we get the semi-final draw immediately as well. So, again, it doesn't really matter. Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain play Inter or Juventus. Us or Man City play Barcelona or Man United. We're definitely going to have to do this the hard way. And depending on how this next match against Dusseldorf goes, we'll probably do Man City both legs tomorrow. If we can put Bundesliga back into like cruise control and win these next couple of matches, I don't need to show you much more of the Bundesliga. There's not really any more really big games. Obviously, I'll show you a game where we could potentially win the league. Dream scenario, Man City both legs tomorrow. Next day, Schalke in that semi-final and Union Berlin to win the league. then 2 legs of a semi-final, and then 2 finals to finish things off. That's the perfect scenario. Universe, give me that, please. Well, we've picked up some suspensions going into this game, and it's not Van der Hoek. Van der Hoek's actually going to start because he's suspended for the Champions League, but Banfalvi and Dombrowski both suspended for this league game. So we're going with a back 4 of Thum, Tigges, Haman and Krajju. It's still all 4 of them are still in the current Germany squad that's just been announced. So it's not like we're slumming it with that as a back 4. We've got 2 German internationals unavailable, but the 4 that are left are still 6 German international defenders in our squad, and we play a back 4. That's not a bad situation for a squad to be in. Otherwise, we've got Marquez in midfield as well. O'Hara comes in for Gashi, who picked up that knock in the last game on the right-hand side of midfield. You can see O'Hara just recovering from an injury as well. So that's where he was for the Tottenham game. So let's get into this. In other news, Antonio Carlos has just been recalled to the Brazil squad as well. So he's not as bad as you all say. He's a current Brazil international. He must be good. Right, do we recognise anybody in this Dusseldorf team? We do not. Let's not bottle this game. We have been struggling a little bit in the league lately, which is a weird thing to say when we're 50 plus games unbeaten. We've set the Bundesliga record now for consecutive unbeaten games. It would be insane to set that record over the span of 2 seasons in which we didn't win the league in either of them. That's the kind of thing that would be unheard of levels of nonsense. But that's kind of my speciality, unheard of levels of nonsense. So we have to find a way to drag ourselves over the finishing line. You can see Dortmund already ahead in their game, narrowing the gap down to 5 points. If we were to do the unthinkable and lose today, they only have to make up 4 points. Cologne have just equalised against them, though, which is lovely stuff. Worryingly, we're not creating anything against Dusseldorf, and I think I know why, because we're still playing the slightly more defensive version of the tactic that we had set up for Spurs. So I'm going to aggressively say I'm not happy, and I'm going to push people a little bit further forward. So Van der Hoek is going to play more attacking. Marquez is going to play more attacking. I'm going to bring Miguel's on in the very near future, either for Van der Hoek or Thorgerson. I think either of them probably improve the team with him coming in, because he is a constant goal threat. But let's give these 2 15 minutes. Like Van der Hoek, I have got a grumpy with off of that last game. He stayed in the team by the skin of his teeth because we had to make so many other changes. And Dusseldorf have got a counter-attack here, but Vermonti intercepts excellently. Van der Hoek, redeem yourself to me. He's in, and he missed. He missed. That's not how you redeem yourself to a man. You redeem yourself by sticking that into the far corner. He was our top scorer last year. I don't know where it's all gone wrong for him, but it has. So 58 minutes on the clock, and I'm doing an out-of-character early change. Miguel's is on. We have a new scapegoat, and his name is Van der Hoek. Remember, he started as my scapegoat when we started out here at Bayern, and he had to force his way into the team. He now goes back to 0 and has to force his way into the team again. Thorgerson, also in a terrible run of form at the moment. We'll bring Gashi on for him, even though he's not fully fit. Gashi, we know, is a constant goal threat. Antonio Carlos, not so much. Let's ask for creativity again. I hope I've done that already. I say again, we need to score a goal. What is happening? Right, Lust can come off, and we'll bring Andre on for Lust. I don't see that that's a change that's going to make any difference, but let's demand more. I don't even know where Dusseldorf are in the league. They're so far down it that we have to scroll to find them. How? I know we've just played a Champions League game, and there's always the hangover, but this is stupid. Thankfully, I think Dortmund lost, because the gap went back out to 7 points. I am going to give it an aggressive. Wasn't good enough, because it wasn't. We can't keep dropping points in the league like this. So that's me slamming the team. 57 games unbeaten now, but so many of the recent ones are draws, and we just can't keep drawing games like that. Wolfsburg have now lowered the gap to 2 points. Dortmund, with a late win, I guess, that's their speciality. The gap is down to 5 points. We need to be afraid that we're going to bottle this. I can't bottle it. 57 games unbeaten. How can we not win the league when we're 57 games unbeaten? We'll be back tomorrow with Manchester City and hopefully some improved form in the league games surrounding it. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.